Section 3, the shock. Handling pressure.
Boom. The crisis hits. You have zero time to lose here. You've got to sprint through 3 critical steps. First, awareness, waking up to the fact that, okay, this is really happening. Second, evaluation, figuring out just how bad the fire is. And third, decision, making a rapid-fire choice to stop the bleeding.
Handling that intense pressure is absolutely vital. As the old saying goes, a delayed decision is often way worse than a wrong one. In a crisis, speed trumps perfection every single time. Seriously, if you sit around waiting for 100% perfect information before making a move, the game is already over.
To put this into perspective, think about Toyota back in 2011, when a massive earthquake and tsunami totally wrecked their supply chain. They didn't just freeze up and panic. Nope, they instantly set up a global task force, figured out the damage, and got straight to work with their suppliers. By taking that lightning-fast action, they got production back up and running way ahead of schedule and minimized huge financial losses.
All right, moving on to Section 4, taking action. Empathy first.
Once you're out of the initial shock and it's time to take action, emotional intelligence, or EQ, takes center stage. EQ is all about recognizing and managing your own emotions, sure, but it's also about reading the emotions of everyone around you. It's what lets you walk into a room, feel the panic, figure out exactly what your team needs, and connect with them on a genuinely human level. Think about it. During a crisis, people are stressed. They might be scared for their jobs or even worried about their physical safety. That's exactly why empathy is your superpower. If you can't show your team that you actually care about them, I promise you, none of your brilliant technical solutions are going to work. People need to know you have their back. A classic example of this is the 1982 Tylenol crisis. It was a terrifying poisoning situation, and Johnson & Johnson's response? They immediately issued a national recall of 31 million bottles. That cost them an absolute fortune, but they firmly put consumer safety way ahead of profits. Because they were so open and empathetic in their communication, they earned back the public's trust and fully recovered. A total masterclass in crisis leadership.
And that brings us to Section 5, the aftermath. Learning fast.
So, the smoke has cleared and you're in the recovery phase. Honestly, you might just want to lock yourself in a quiet room and stare at spreadsheets for a week. Don't do it. Communication absolutely has to continue. If you go silent, rumors and fake news will just fill the void. Plus, this is the time to really dissect what went wrong, adapt, and make sure this specific nightmare never happens to you again. A phenomenal example of adapting fast is Airbnb during the COVID-19 pandemic. Literally overnight, global travel just shut down. But instead of throwing in the towel, Airbnb completely pivoted. They rapidly shifted their whole business model to focus on local stays and even launched virtual online experiences. Staying that agile is literally the only reason they survived a threat that easily could have wiped them off the map.